As we head into 2020, we look ahead to the census. Some, however, find one question a little confusing. Today, we see part one of News Center 25's Carolina Astrain's special report, Hispanic is not a race.
In Victoria County, 47.4% of the population is Hispanic, according to census data from 2018. Statewide, Hispanics make up 39.6% of a total of 28.1 million Texans. In this first installment of Hispanic is not a race, we'll hear from Crossroads residents who identify as Hispanic and how they fill out the census. John Paderna is a local DJ and MC and a Victoria resident. When he fills out the census, Paderna says he's always sure to check Hispanic. What do you put in?
I'm Hispanic. Straight up Hispanic. I like to say Tejano and proud because I was born in this area, and I'm very proud of my heritage when it comes to that. I'm on the country station, I'm on the Q92 The Beat station, but when it goes back to my roots, I love Tejano music and Spanish music and love everything about Spanish music and the culture.
But when it comes to selecting a race, Hispanic is not an option because it's an ethnicity. You have to choose either white, black, or Asian, or self-identify. Ernesto Alejandro Perez was born in the United States but moved to Mexico with his family when he was 8. He now lives in Victoria as a working artist. Perez says his childhood was spent living close to the border between American and Mexican cultures, which makes selecting white as a race confusing.
I think it should be a better option as far as like what people identify as. I think there's a little bit of confusion. I know that I was confused when the option was white as far as a race, because I really don't identify as white, and maybe that's a perceived notion.
Aaron Melton is a Sugar Land native and a freshman at the University of Houston, Victoria, majoring in business. When he fills out the census, he marks Hispanic as his ethnicity and other as his race, because he doesn't identify as white.
I don't identify as white. I'm not African American and I'm not Asian.
There could be a better way, but in the end of when everything is said and done, it doesn't bother me a whole lot because I am who I am. So checking the box that said other doesn't really change. I don't have really an opinion about changing it because I'm okay with it because I know exactly who I am. So they could change it, but personally, if you're asking me, it doesn't really make a difference because I'm proud of who I am and I get to live with my family and live my life as a Hispanic, even though they see me as other on paper.
I say Hispanic because like I'm mixed. I'm like a little bit of white with Mexican. So I'm not a traditional Mexican or Latino, as some would say. So like whenever I was growing up, I was more white, but I don't identify as white because I don't look like it, you know? So yeah, I was like very non-traditional. It was more like raising me the right way by society standards, not a cultural, upbringing.
Emmett Alvarez runs and operates a bilingual newspaper in Victoria. He also previously served as a city councilman.
There's not been a lot of options there. Usually get to pick white for Hispanic or Mexican American. If there are other subgroups, I would put Mexican American.
Madeline Colunga, a senior at UHV, says she identifies as Hispanic and white as her race because it's what her mother taught her.
But when it got just like to the process of applications and just to make everything smoother, I just put white.
To catch the second part of this series, in which we'll explore what the Hispanic experience is like in the Crossroads, tune in tomorrow. In Victoria, I'm Carolina Astrain with your hometown news.